Welcome to London Lips YouTube channel.
No, but I do have a good mirror.
So today we're going to be talking about Jeffrey Epstein. Is he actually dead? A guy has popped up on TikTok who seems to resemble him, and people are pretty convinced this is actually Jeffrey Epstein.
Some tennis. I'm not Jeffrey Epstein. I'm Palm Beach Pete. I want to thank all my followers. This thing has gone crazy viral. Over 100,000 plus followers in less than 2 days. Have a great day. Enjoy life.
Private jets, headlines, court sketches, blurred footage. Jeffrey Epstein, a billionaire with powerful friends, a secretive private island, shocking arrest, and a death that sparked global controversy. What really happened to Jeffrey Epstein? And is Jeffrey alive today? Think about this. Jeffrey Epstein, he's a financer who built an image of immense wealth and influence. He owned multiple properties, including a private island, and was connected to high-profile figures across politics, business, and entertainment. But behind that image, there were serious allegations. Jeffrey Epstein was a real-life monster. In the early 2000s, multiple underage girls accused Epstein of abuse and exploitation. The case drew attention, but what happened next raised even more questions. Epstein, in 2008, reached a plea agreement. He served about 13 months in custody, but with unusual privileges, including work release. Critics later called the deal far too lenient. And for years, the story seemed to fade, until it didn't. 2019, Epstein found himself arrested again, this time on federal charges related to sex trafficking minors. The case made global headlines, and many believed accountability was finally coming. But just weeks later, conveniently, Epstein was found dead in his jail cell. Officials ruled it suicide at public scrutiny. His death quickly became one of the most debated aspects of the case. Investigations also examined Epstein's connections and associates. Some individuals faced legal consequences, others denied involvement. The full extent of the network remains a subject of ongoing discussion. But the real question is Epstein actually dead? People have claimed they have seen him. And now this guy, Palm Beach Pete, has popped up on TikTok, who has a very strong resemblance to Epstein. People have noticed that they also have the same teeth pattern. This is something Palm Beach denies with a passion. He claims he is not Epstein, yet he is allegedly happens to have been to some of Epstein's parties. Coincidence? You tell me.
And my video went viral because some dude randomly filmed me while I was driving on I-95, unbeknownst to me. And the next thing I know, I'm a viral sensation. I had my phone down for about 4 hours and I didn't know my phone was blowing up with all these comments from that video. So I got a lot of traction. It's pretty crazy. Thanks.
So you're not Jeffrey Epstein?
I'm not Jeffrey Epstein. I'm Palm Beach Pete.
Now, I think there's a possibility that Palm Beach could be maybe related to Jeffrey Epstein. Maybe he's a relative that he doesn't know. I know sometimes when you run the ancestry test, you find out you're actually related to the person. Or maybe he knows he's related to him. I mean, would you admit being related to a child predator trafficking monster? I mean, it's not the type of thing most people would want to admit to. And if nobody knew, I would most definitely keep that to myself.
He's at Sushi Beachy in North Beach, in Miami Beach, and I had a delicious meal with old friends, and we had the best night. Florida. I want to thank everybody for the positive comments I got from saying I'm not Jeffrey Epstein. I'm just Palm Beach Pete, going to play some tennis today, going into town, have lunch. I'm so not Jeffrey Epstein. I'm just me being me. And it's a crazy phenomenon that has went really viral. And I really appreciate all the support. And just want to reiterate, I'm Peter from Palm Beach. Have nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. He's a very bad person, what he did, obviously. And he is dead.
Now, I mentioned the teeth earlier. People on TikTok have been showing the teeth, and their teeth seem to be identical. This has got TikTok talking. I'm going to show you some of the videos from TikTok where people are convinced this man is definitely Jeffrey Epstein.
Firm that Palm Beach Pete is actually Jeffrey Epstein, starting off with the first and most obvious piece of evidence that both of them look identical to each other. Here is a side-by-side picture of the both of them, and you literally cannot tell either of them apart. Next, the both of them literally have the same exact teeth. So as you can see right here, this is Jeffrey Epstein's bottom row of teeth, and then if we go ahead and look at Palm Beach Pete's bottom row of teeth, literally identical to Jeffrey Epstein's. Next, in a recent interview, it was actually revealed that Jeffrey Epstein and Palm Beach Pete actually lived in the same areas at the exact same time. So when Jeffrey Epstein was living in New York, so was Palm Beach Pete.
Couple of parties and Epstein was there.
There is a lot of evidence that makes it seem like Palm Beach Pete and Jeffrey Einstein are the same guy. First off, every side-by-side video I've seen of these two, it looks like they could be twins. Even more insaner, Palm Beach Pete is in South Florida. You know what island is right next to South Florida? You know who also spent a lot of time in South Florida? Even more worser, Palm Beach Pete even admitted that he used to party with Einstein in New York. And he is constantly saying in his videos that he is not Jeffrey Einstein.
With all the power and influence Jeffrey Epstein had, it would not surprise me at all if he's alive. And please bear in mind that he could be alive and look slightly different, because he would be able to have certain cosmetic procedures such as facelifts, nose jobs, change his complexion, change his hair color. Like, there's a lot of things he could be doing to be able to mask his identity. He also would have access to people who were able to change his name and to be able to give him a complete fake history. So there's nothing to say this man is genuinely dead. He could have his identity changed easily because he's connected to some of the most high-profile people in the world. Some people believe he died by suicide. Some people believe he is still alive. Others believed he was murdered to ensure he keeps other high-profile colleagues' names out of the cases. So they believe he was literally just removed so he could hold the secrets as to who he trafficked women to and who really came to his island. Because at any point, he could have got fed up of being the only person with such charges and taking the whole blame when he had many people involved in his paedophile ring. But what is questionable, if he was murdered so that people did not find out who was involved, why is it Ghislaine Maxwell is still alive? I mean, she's currently serving 20-year sentence for sex trafficking related charges, but we know she was his number one wingwoman and she was very involved in his whole operation. And I would have felt that it would have made more sense if they were going to murder him for them to have took her out of the game as well, as she also holds many secrets. Jeffrey Epstein apparently wrote a will 2 days before he allegedly committed suicide, and he's buried next to his parents, Seymour and Pauline Epstein. He's buried in a Jewish cemetery in Palm Beach County in Florida. No visitors came to the site when he was buried and his ashes were put there. You could say they didn't go because they knew he wasn't in there, or you could say they didn't go because if you are a friend of his and you're showing up to his burial, it's pretty obvious there's a good chance you were involved in some of the things Jeffrey was doing. And ever since his conviction, all the people connected to him have been trying to deny their involvement. You know, Jeffrey was not just supplying these young girls to himself. He was supplying many of his friends, high-profile people and associates. But everybody involved is, of course, in denial. Why? Because it's illegal, because it's disgusting, because their reputation will be in tatters. So more and more people spend their time trying to make sure they are not associated with him. The files are released and they're pretty disgusting and shocking, but I'm sure there's even more in those files that we have not seen and we do not know about. More high-profile people who were supplied with kids by Jeffrey Epstein and very young girls whose name has not been called out. Whether you think Palm Beach Pete is Jeffrey Epstein's case raises important questions about accountability, power and justice. What do you think about the case? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this interesting, don't forget to like and subscribe. And I can't wait to see you guys on another one.
some tennis. I'm not Jeffrey Epstein, I'm Palm Beach Pete. I want to thank all my followers. This thing has gone crazy viral, over 100,000 plus followers in less than 2 days. Have a great day. Enjoy life.